Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Virtual Coffee Break with Tanisha. I am your host, Tanisha Burke, and I want to welcome everyone. If you're just joining us for the first time, thank you for checking us out. We hope you find value in the information being shared. And if you are returning, welcome back. Go ahead and shout out your city and state. Let me know where you are checking in from. So this month we've been working on a series. We've been discussing the book Your First Year in Network Marketing. So today we're going to be going over chapter 7, eluding the meeting minds. Eluding the meeting minds. Well, welcome, boss lady, checking in from Florida. Thank you so much for joining us. We are streaming live on Facebook in about 3 different locations. We're streaming live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know what city and state you're checking in from. We got Brandy checking in from Clarksville, Tennessee. Well, hello, Brandy. Welcome, welcome to Virtual Coffee Break. We got AB checking in, yes, from Davenport, Florida. We got Amira checking in from Davenport, Florida as well. It is a beautiful day in Florida today. Let me just tell you, it's warming up nice. I think they said it was going to go. Yep, it's going to go up to 79 today. So, I'm happy. Ms. LLC, hello. Checking in from Austell, Georgia. Okay, Austell, Georgia. Thank you for joining us. We got Major Flowers checking in from St. Petersburg, Florida. I love St. Petersburg. Oh, that is such a beautiful, beautiful area. How are you? Thank you for joining us. We got Beverly. Hello, Bev. How you doing today? Let us know what city and state everyone's checking in. Hello, Christina. Thank you so much for joining. She says it's 70 degrees in Joliet, Illinois. That's a nice temperature right there, especially for Illinois. Well, let's see who else we got. We got Chrissy checking in from Mactown, Georgia. Hey, Chrissy. All right, so let's jump in it today because as always with this book, these chapters, there's a lot of takeaways from these chapters. So hopefully we will be able to get through all of them today. But again, if you are just joining us, we are discussing the book, Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark and Rene Yarnell. And we are on chapter 7, Eluding the Meeting Mind. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. All right, avoiding the pitfalls of counterproductive meetings. Everyone who has come out of corporate America recalls different highlights of the experience, but without exception, all of them recall the endless meetings. Many managers who still have some desire to be productive get extremely frustrated with the meeting syndrome. They are absolutely convinced nothing of value ever happens in meetings. The greater the attendance at the meeting, the less productive it seems to be. I can relate. Meetings can be great obstacles for workers who are result oriented. I'm going to keep going to the next paragraph. There have been a deluge of displaced executives flocking into the network distribution industry. They bring with them some valuable resources, most notably their wide base of professional contacts and high-level management experience. But they also bring sonic, disastrous habits, many of which may have caused the downsizing of corporate America in the first place. We will discuss this in more detail in chapter 9. The same executive who was paid a fairly high salary to go from meeting to meeting in his former career has a strong inclination to carry that habit into our industry. I can relate to this. I cannot stand meetings. I'm just being very transparent with you. I can't stand it. And in network marketing, there's always a meeting after the meeting, after the meeting, after the meeting. And I'm not going to lie, it gets on my nerves. I'm just keeping it real. Now, with that being said, I will say this. I do always get something out of the meetings. The company that I'm with right now, the meetings are fantastic. And even when I think, oh, I'm going to hear the same thing, I got to be honest, I always do learn something new. But that may not be the case in everybody else's network marketing business. And you may have, your upline who wants to have a team meeting every week. I don't do that unless I call what we call ad hoc meetings. If I feel I have something of importance to say, then I will call a meeting, or I will go live in our team group, or I'll do a training video on it and post it on my YouTube channel. But what you're not going to see Tanisha Burke do is have a meeting every single week with her team. This is how you get stuck in the management trap. I feel that everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing, and there's no need for me to have a meeting every single week. My upline has a meeting once a month, and his upline has a meeting once a week. And so for me, that's enough. How do you all feel about the endless meetings in network marketing? Director Burke?
Oh my goodness. Well, I hate the endless meetings, the meeting after the meeting after the meeting after the meeting. But you know what I love about Planet and Donald Bradley? Because he understands that a lot of people that will speak up in a meeting, they're the type of people that want the mic before the money. So he makes sure that, hey, only qualified people are able to speak at these meetings. And like the meetings that he'll have after the meetings are more valuable than the meeting from before. And that's what
Mhm.
I love about that. So like if you're gonna be come in here and you're going to speak up and you think you're going to take over the whole meeting, Donald Bradley would be quick. He'd be like, ask your question, just like that.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So let's jump into this. Let's jump into these meetings and let's talk about it. Like I said, we have a lot of a lot of takeaways from this chapter. So hopefully we'll get through all of them. But attending unnecessary meetings can become the stumbling blocks that lead to your demise in our industry. Attending unnecessary meetings. Some people just like to talk too much, and that is why they want to have a meeting. They get a team of 5 people, they're already holding weekly team meetings. Not necessary. Not necessary. Let's keep it moving. Number 2, large hotel meetings don't work unless used periodically as a supplement to regularly scheduled in-home presentations. We talk about this all the time. To do PBRs, private business receptions, in your home, that is something that you should be doing on a weekly basis. And then if you're doing that, then you lead that up to the big meeting at the hotel, right? But if you're only doing the hotel meetings and you don't have the smaller in-home presentations, then it's very hard to fill up the hotel meetings, right? So you have the small in-home presentations, and then from there you build that up, and now you'll have greater attendance at the large hotel meetings. Occasional hotel meetings are best used to bring the group together to hear an upline leader, provide awards, offer recognition, and create bonding. We just came back from our meeting last night, and it was exactly that. I want to shout out my girl, Amira Pearman, who got her bronze builder pin. Congratulations, Amira, for hitting. Look, she's wearing her bronze pin today. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Amira, let's talk about this because it says hotel meetings are best used to bring the group together. Have an upline leader. We had 2 millionaires in the building last night, and we saw several people get their recognition from hitting their rank promotions. What was your feeling about that hotel meeting?
Well, I feel like first of all, the meeting. Well, my husband came, and he is now my newest ITA. So
Yeah,
we are Team Pearman.
yeah. Can we talk about
So
that too? I
the
want to.
benefit he was really impressed because it's not untouchable anymore. I feel like when the opportunity is presented from certain people in some ways, it appears really salesy, right? And so when he came to the meeting, he even because he was only coming to support me, right? So he came to the meeting and he felt the community in it. He saw the possibilities in it. He saw these real people that look like him, who have had similar challenges that he's had, who are in this business getting money. And then we have two millionaires that showed up, and he was able to speak to my great grandfather in the business, Mr. Orlando Moore, and with that conversation and just the encouragement, he discussed. He decided to join, and I think when it comes to the community, it shows a bit of the culture of the meeting, and how we support each other, how we cheer each other on, how we show up for each other. I think that is crucial when it comes to the meetings. But like, even when you don't feel like it, you still, like you said, you still get something from it. Even when you don't, even if it's unintentional. So I see the value in it. I even, like I said, even there's times when I didn't feel like getting up. Like yesterday, I came home exhausted. When I said I went to sleep, child, I went to sleep. So, but there's value in just being present. I think when you are present, you can also set the example for your team. You can set the example for other business partners in general when you just show up and you're there and you're showing the environment, because the environment isn't made unless the people are there.
Exactly. And I do want to point out, remember we were talking about spouses and how
Yes.
one has the vision and the other catches the vision. Mm-hmm. And remember, I always said, don't try to convince your spouse to get into the business. Just bring them to a meeting.
Yep.
Bring them to a meeting and let the meeting do what it does. Mm-hmm. And one thing you said about your husband, I remember, is that he's very quiet. He wasn't quiet on the way home. He talked the whole way home. He was excited. Like the meeting had his mind. He was really processing everything. And I just loved it. He asked really good questions. And I'm just super excited that he's on board with you.
He's not quiet though. He's a double Leo. He is not quiet at all. But he, like I said, he was kind of standoffish. Like he didn't know what he was walking into. He wasn't sure. And so he was determined, like he was really steadfast in, I'm just here for my wife. I'm proud of her. I got her back. This is her moment. And then it turned out to be our moment. So that's what the group, that's what showing up will do. It makes you a part of the moment. It makes you a part of it, even if you don't know even if you don't intend to join, because there are people who were threes, right? Even if you don't intend to join, you get this, you see this whole environment of possibilities, this whole environment of what it looks like when you do the work, that PS3, following through, and it's the evidence. So that was really important. That was really important. It was dope. But no, you gonna hear how much he talks. Promise, you gonna hear it.
I love it. All right, let's get into number 4. Most of your time should be invested in the face-to-face prospecting, telephone calls, and in-home presentations. So it's not about meetings. You should be spending your time with the face-to-face, meaning offline prospecting, telephone calls, and in-home presentation. I love doing the in-home presentations. It's so intimate. It takes out that feeling of feeling salesy because you're in someone's home. So people don't come with that, preconceived notion like, oh, they're going to try to sell me stuff. No, it's more casual. It's more relaxed. It's more friendly. People are not afraid to ask questions. You kind of get to, joke around. It's not just so, stiff I just love an in-home presentation, and it really makes people feel like, just like Amira was saying, part of a family, part of a culture. You really get that culture when you have an in-home presentation. Number 5, a regularly scheduled recruiting meeting in which reps are taught to bring guests to the leader's home where they do the presentation for everyone leads to codependency. Good is only good if it's duplicatable. And if, let's say, I have a weekly meeting at my house and I'm constantly telling Amira, bring your people to my house, bring your people to my house, bring your people to my house. And at no point am I saying to Amira, okay, now I'm going to do Wednesdays, but I need you to do Thursdays at your house. Right? If I don't do that with her, then now she's solely dependent on me doing the presentation for guests. And so how does she learn how to do the presentation? How would she learn how to do it if I keep saying, have everybody come to my house? And then what happens if I fall off? And now she doesn't know how to do that, right? Same thing with webinars, right? Yes, I can do a great webinar, but at some point you have to now start doing the webinars for you and for your team, right? You can't just be solely dependent on me. And I love, Amira took the reins. She's like, okay, I'm going to start doing them on, Tuesdays, and then I'm going to have you close them out. Great, I can do that. But she stepped out there and now she knows how to do a plug and play. And then the next step will be her learning the PowerPoint presentation. Because what do we do as network marketers? We expose people to our opportunities. So if you don't know your company's PowerPoint presentation, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's your sole responsibility, is to show the plan, right? That's part of our system, PS3. So yes, your leader may have a weekly meeting where they're doing PBRs at their home. And yes, you want to leverage, but you should also be doing your own weekly presentations in your own home as well. Yep, it becomes a crutch. Yep, we don't want to become a crutch to our team, for sure. Okay. And creating that codependency. Okay, number 6. A deception meeting is a dinner party to which friends are invited, believing it to be a social gathering.
And Tanisha, I think you froze up.
In the chat, don't do that.
Mary, can you hear her? Is she frozen? Yeah.
No, she's frozen.
Yeah. Tanisha, you're frozen. I have to reset.
Okay, there we go.
We
back?
Yep.
Okay, we're back. I don't know what was going on. But don't do that.
Why do you keep freezing?
Have this present food and
This is like the microphone from last night. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Director Burke, you're definitely freezing on this one here. So let's see if she comes back in.
I do want to say that Mr. Moore joked about that last night. He said,
he did.
Y'all think y'all supposed to be going out to dinner, and it's like, let's stop at this meeting real quick. But that was a joke. Like, we really not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, and I've actually been, unfortunately been able to experience that. And I'm telling you, when I did, nobody, and I mean nobody, signs up. And
Right.
when we're talking about it through dinner, it's one of those things where they're just talking, I can't believe, they tricked us to come in here
Audacity.
and do this.
Yeah.
And then gonna spring this one.
I saw a post on Facebook, and someone was talking about how they were supposed to be going on a date,
Yeah, yeah,
and someone took them to a meeting, like a hotel meeting, like one of ours. I cannot imagine that.
yeah,
Like, that is I cannot imagine that. Like, there's definitely, you're definitely getting blocked and deleted immediately.
yeah.
I
It
can't
happens.
imagine
Like Miss
that.
Abraham said, don't do that. I've
Don't do-
actually had like a business partner, I was coaching him and he's like, I have this great idea, coach. And I was like, what's that? He's like, you
Uh-oh.
know how I'm on Black People Meet, right? I was like, I guess. I don't know what you do. He's like,
Right.
anyway, so I've got 3 dates lined up. I was like, awesome, awesome, man. Good for you. I'm thinking we're going kind of like off training here a little bit. He's like, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna peak all 3 of them about
At
the
the same
business
time.
opportunity. Yeah, and I was like, do that.
That's a mess. I can't
For real,
imagine.
don't do that. And I don't know if he ever did it or not, but yeah, that's what he was actually going to do. He's actually going to peak them, see if
Mhm.
they kept their options open to bringing in extra income on top of what they did. I was like, oh my, this is a date. This is for you to learn about her and for her to learn about you. See if y'all have a connection. This ain't about business here.
Right.
It's like
It
you need
shouldn't
to come
be.
out. Yeah, yeah.
That's the biggest thing, is we're supposed to be building relationships. So
Hmm.
how are we supposed to be, like, you literally cancel out 3 relationships, three
Yeah.
possibilities of a connection, whether it is building business together or
Hmm.
being business partners, or them being booking you. Like, what are you doing? Like, what?
Exactly.
This
Exactly.
completely eliminates everything. I think that's horrible. I can't
Y-
imagine somebody doing that.
And it is deceptive. It's very deceptive because if you come here to the house, you've been to our house, you
Mhm.
see that our living room is designed for presentation showing, designed for presentation showing. But I guarantee you one thing: if you come in here and we never talk to you about the business opportunity, you're just coming in here as a guest. We're not
Mhm.
gonna all of a sudden like, hey, check out this whole Planet IntelliTravel
Right,
thing we're doing.
right. And I actually think that that's what Mike was afraid of. He was
Yeah.
nervous about, every conversation that we have being about Planet Marketing.
Hmm.
Even though that is our job, it's not our entire life. The freedom is our life. The point is that we're demonstrating the freedom of it. So you got to be able to walk it like you talk it. And
Hmm.
but it can't be something that's where every single thing that comes out of your mouth is, that's what makes it salesy. And that's what he was afraid of. He
Yeah,
was
and
afraid of
and I
that.
get it because I was just like him. I was just like him. Like
Mhm,
when Tanisha first got into this, I didn't want to hear really anything about it. I was kind
mhm,
of against it.
mhm,
I take you to a meeting, and I remember we're driving to this meeting here in Mayor, and and I'm like asking her, so what's all this about? She's like, this is about a travel business where you can build it in your own spare time and it'll get you to your best life.
mhm,
And this is back at a
mhm.
time where there wasn't no real documentation or anything like that. So you
Right.
basically had to convince somebody. So we're driving there to Orlando. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what's so special? But like, who do you know from this meeting? She was like, well, most of the company is Black people. I was like, wait, what? Black people? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Black
Yeah.
people in business together? Are
It's
you? Oh my,
impressive.
that never works.
Right.
And so
You
I'm not
already messed up.
complaining. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm complaining the whole way there. I'm like thinking that there's gonna be like thugs gonna be there at this meeting trying to look at me hard, like like baby mamas around there, like acting like all that kids running around. And I was like telling her,
Mhm.
like, I'm telling you, we get in here, anybody look at me hard or whatever.
It's gonna be some smoke in the
Yeah,
city.
exactly. Because I'm thinking that this is going to be a deceptive meeting type thing.
Right,
She
right.
just got in this thing here. I don't think she knew what the heck she was doing. It's like, okay, we're going to go in here. These are just going to be acting and tripping out. But
Mhm,
when I got in there and I saw the people, what Planet was all about, I see people dressed in business attire, treating people
mhm,
professionally,
mhm,
and they taking me and they're shaking my hand and like, hey, thank you for joining us. And they're sitting me up at the front, just like they did to your husband last night. Sit me up at the front. And
mhm.
when they're doing the presentation, they're making me feel a part of the presentation.
Engaging.
And
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
And like when we left, it was just like I felt just like your husband. I was
Mhm.
nonstop talking about this is a good thing. This is something
Right.
that can get us to another level, get other people to another level. Oh my gosh, it's like this is incredible.
Mhm.
And I knew right then and there, it's like, okay, it's like I gotta be a part of this somehow. It's like I know I said I'm supporting you, but I really need to support you. All
Right.
right, Miss
Right.
Tanisha is back.
Welcome back.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that you guys were still able to be on. That's the
We held you
crazy
down.
part.
Yeah, we got you. We
We
got
held
you.
you
I love
down.
it. I
I'm
love
just saying,
it.
next time get an Android.
Bite me.
Shady boots. That's 2 times today with the shade.
I know,
Whoa.
right? Y'all, don't let him talk about Apple. We're Team Apple representing. Did Apple not come through? I got multiple devices. I wasn't just stuck on my Mac.
How
Okay,
about that?
so there's that
They
part.
always talking about us. We never
I,
talk. We never bring them up. They
I'm
always
just
talk.
saying. I'm trying to warn you guys. When the company takes over the entire world and everything becomes automated, and you
Ain't nobody
start seeing
paying your pretty messages.
Apple
Nobody.
Terminators coming at you to dispose of all of us. Like I said, when we're hiding, in an underground bunker, strapped up,
Oh
waiting for
my
these
god.
Apple Terminators to
Y'all
be
don't
walking around
listen to him.
zapping us. I don't want to hear anybody say, "AB, you told us all about it." I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Nah, my
Just
Mac
say
and my iPhone and my iPad are all gonna work together to make sure we're gonna survive.
I,
Exactly, exactly. I
it's like
want to I want
Number
to
6, Director Burke. There was a request to repost, put number 6 back up.
yes, and I'm also going to post the link if anybody wants to join us in studio.
We were talking about the
And
bait and switch.
yes, the bait and switch.
Hmm.
Yes. So a deception meeting. I actually had this happen. I was looking to do a PBR for someone, and they had a birthday party for their child. So the business partner was trying to enroll someone, and so we're supposed to be presenting to her prospect, and the prospect was having a birthday party. And it was a total waste of time. Total waste of time. So never ever be part of someone who's trying to have an event and they're saying, oh, well, my family's going to be in town for this, whatever. That'll be the perfect time to have a presentation. No, that is the worst time
The
to have a
worst.
presentation. They are not interested in, they're there for one reason. And when you bring something else, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth about our industry. So never ever do the bait and switch. Don't do that. Number 7, it's proper to create curiosity about network marketing when inviting people to your home for a business presentation. But it's never proper to deceive them about your intentions, right? Meaning, let them know that you want their partnership. You have an amazing opportunity that you feel would benefit them, but you want them to take a look at it for themselves, get their questions answered, and make a decision for themselves. But don't make it seem like that's not your intention, that you have ulterior motives. Again, these are the types of things that um give the industry of network marketing a bad name, because people are not being upfront about what it is that they want. If you want the partnership, say you want the partnership, stand on that. I mean, what's the worst that they could say? I'm not interested. Okay, you will live to see another day. It's not that big of a deal. But don't act like you want one thing when you really want another. Even especially when you're jumping in someone's inbox, right? I'll be quick to say, hey, I know we don't know each other, but I reached out because we've been friends on Facebook for a while. I see that you're sharp, ambitious, and driven. I have a business opportunity that may or may not be for you. Are you open to taking a look at something that can help you earn some additional streams of income? It's just that simple. I'm straight. I'm up front. I'm not in there like, hey, how you doing? Oh my God, I love your hair. Where'd you get your hair done? Like, People who are reds can smell that a mile away. We smell it, and we're like, get to the point. What is it? What is it that you want? You jumping in my inbox? Get to the point. Divorce. You said you don't see the link to join. Uh, invite guests. Copy. I'm gonna post it again. So I'm on my phone, so everything looks a little different. Okay, I just posted it in the comments. And divorce is also in our team group. I
Mhm.
posted the link. So go there with that. Okay. So yeah, so be honest about what you want. Number 8, it is not wise to use an office outside the home because number 1, it cannot be duplicated for most people. And number 2, it creates unnecessary overhead. I
Mhm.
agree 100%. I know a lot of people, when they start this travel business, think about getting a storefront. And it's like you're defeating the whole purpose of having a home-based business. Nobody goes to brick and mortar. It's all about click and order. It's an online business, so you don't need, office space to run this business.
Mhm.
Anybody have any comments on that, Amira?
It's interesting because like the closest I have is to an office space is my little workstation that I have in my bedroom. So it's not like I can't imagine. Like, for instance, like I watch a lot of shows, especially I love Gordon Ramsay, right? And
Hmm.
so I watch Kitchen Nightmares. And a lot of these restaurants are family businesses, right?
Hmm.
And my husband said something about, I would love to have somewhere for the kids to go, something that they can call their own and stuff. I said, but how does that affect our personal freedom? How does that affect our freedom if you have to be in a building every day? How does
Right.
that affect our freedom when you have the responsibility of being in? Because we've both worked in the restaurant industry, right? So we're talking about you got to be in there at 7 a.m. You're not leaving until 2 p.m. or 2 a.m., right? How does that establish the freedom that we are fighting for our families? How is
Right.
that? I'm not saying not to have one, but I'm saying it. How are we supposed to go on vacation? How are we
It's
supposed to take these trips? How are we supposed to enjoy this money? How are we supposed to see like being restricted to a building? That's what we got out of. That's why Jerry Ferrara started the business, so that y'all we aren't they the Jerry IntelliTravel is the OG of the
right.
home-based travel business, so that we don't have to do brick and mortar anymore. So
Exactly.
I feel like it defeats the purpose of what the intention is of the business in the first place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to piggyback on that, if you are looking for lifestyle freedom, right? We talk about time freedom, we talk about financial freedom, lifestyle freedom. And so a lot of people look to start a home-based business because they want those freedoms, right?
Mhm.
But if you're starting a business that requires you to physically be at a location, you will never have lifestyle freedom.
You won't have
Period. You just will not have it. And so people need to be careful about what types of businesses they're starting if they're looking for those freedoms, right? And so if you want that lifestyle freedom where you can, jet set all over the world, sleeping until you're finished sleeping and all those wonderful things, not have to deal with commuting and stuff like that, you got to be careful about what business you're getting into because
it.
there are some businesses that do not offer the lifestyle freedom, but yet people want to do it all the time. Like, for example, fashion is like a big thing now, right? Everybody's into fashion. Everybody wants, to open up these boutiques and stuff, and they're trying to get storefronts. You will never have lifestyle freedom opening up a boutique on Main Street or in a mall or anything like that. You just
No.
won't have it because you are expected to be there, right? And let me tell you, good help is hard to find. Good luck with trying to find someone who's going to open up your boutique on time, who's going to stay late till that last customer leaves,
Mhm.
who's not going to rob you blind. Good luck with that. And there is nothing more unattractive, or that will turn me off, than to go to a place that's supposed to be open and they're not open.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Anybody ever have that happen? You ever go to a store, a restaurant, or something? It's in the middle of the day. It's business hours. They're supposed to be open, but they're not open.
I
Why are
used
they not open? Right? Because they made themselves the magic in their business, right? Where everything falls on them and they couldn't find help and they couldn't be there for whatever reason. So now the location is closed, right? So again, you don't need office space. You do not need office space to have a home-based business, right? You just need a home. Right? You just need Wi-Fi, and that's what we love about our business, is that you can do it from anywhere. All right. Number 9, it does not exemplify the freedom that you should enjoy as a network marketer, which is what I was just saying, right? Number 10, when possible, avoid conducting meetings at your prospect's home or office because you have no control over the circumstances. This is so true. And this is why a lot of times, even when I'm doing training, if the person is within driving distance, I'll ask them to come to my home for training. I'll ask them to come to my home for training. Why do I do that? Because I don't know what's going on in their house. They might have kids. The kids don't want to leave them alone. And now the person can't focus because the kids are asking them 50 million questions. The phone is ringing. They're just distracted. And it's the same thing. If you're trying to conduct, a PBR or show the plan and you're at somebody's office, well, now, somebody's coming to ask them a question about their job or about the work, right? In their home. Again, you don't know what's going on in the house. Their spouse might come home from work pissed off at the world, and now you there uncomfortable trying to show a presentation, and their spouse is coming in rolling their eyes and sucking their teeth and stuff. It just could get really, really messy. So you want to make sure you can control the controllables, right? Put yourself in a position where there's no distractions, right? You can meet at a Starbucks, right? You can meet at a Panera. You can meet in a hotel lobby, right? If you're meeting with, strangers, people that you don't know. You don't have to invite strangers to your home, but there's a lot of public places that you can meet with prospects to conduct, a presentation. And then, of course, if it's someone that have them come to your home and make sure your home isn't that distraction as well. Let's talk about that, right? Do you have young kids running around that are going to be disruptive? Then maybe your home is not the place that you should have it. Do
right.
you have pets that you can't put away someplace in case, your prospect, isn't into pets or they're allergic or whatever the case may be, right? But again, you want to make sure that you are conducting business in a place where you can control as much as you can to make sure there are no distractions. All right.
I just want to add get a library card.
Mm,
They have meeting rooms there that you can use for your library card. Also, if where you live has like a clubhouse or something like that,
yes,
you can meet there. There are ways where you don't necessarily have to bring a person to your actual home in
yes,
order to conduct your in-person business.
exactly, exactly, exactly. I love that. I love that. All right. Number 11, using the internet, email, phone drops, automatic dialers can be effective when used with other approaches. But using only one technology is a very limiting system that's not easily duplicated. And we talk about this all the time about diversifying everything, right? Diversifying, you want to build online and offline. You don't want to exclude one or the other. diversifying your social media, right? I'm always saying, don't just be on Facebook, right? You need to expand, be on Instagram, be on LinkedIn, whatever it is. Make sure that you have multiple places, or multiple tools and resources that you're using to build your business. All right. Number 12. Successful meetings revolve around the fundamental MLM principle of duplication. We always say this: if it's not duplicatable, it's not good, right? Good is only good if it's duplicatable. That is the network marketing system. It's all about duplication. So even when you are having these in home presentations, do not cook and have a whole bunch of food. When you're having in-home presentations, do not cook and have a whole bunch of food. You do not want people coming for the food and not for the information. That's number one, right? Number two, you might go and spend, $200 to have this all, catered event. And then your new business partner gets started and they don't have $200. So now they don't want to have any in home presentations because they're like, I don't have that kind of money to be dropping down, feeding people every week. Have yourself some bottled water. Bottled water. That's it. That's all you need. If you want to add some chips, okay, I'll give you some chips. But food, if it requires a fork or a knife or a spoon, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? We want people to come to get the information. And we don't want them, yeah, airplane snacks, exactly. Lorna said Jamaican people expect it. Well, you got to set the standard of, we're doing business. This has nothing to do with culture and what country someone's from. And I understand the expectation, but you're going to have to show them that that's not what we doing. Come eat before you come. This is going to be a 60-minute presentation. You're going to be in and out. We ain't got time for food. All right. Okay. Um, Number 13, any meeting that cannot be replicated by the least articulate and successful person in your downline is ultimately doomed for failure. Mm. Dumb it down. It got to be super, super simple, right? That's why we teach people how to do plug and plays. You know how to introduce yourself and share your story of why you got started. Boom, put a video in, press play, right? And then at the end, you have your senior business partner in to close it out and answer the questions. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. All right. Number 14, when beginning your business, start by recruiting in your own city. Let me tell you why this is important. Because how are you going to have a home presentation, but you don't know anybody who lives around your home? How are you going to have weekly presentations in your home if you don't even know anybody in and around your home? So you got to start within your city, especially if in your city there's a weekly meeting at the hotel, a hotel meeting. You want to be able to get people to that meeting. But how are you going to do it if you're using social media and now the people that are joining your business don't even live in your state, right? It kind of makes it more challenging for you to build a business. So you definitely want to focus within your city so that you can start having those in-home presentations, and then be able to invite those people to the next exposure, which would be the hotel meeting. Does that make sense? Okay. Number 15, when doing a recruiting meeting, the quality of your environment is a fraction as significant as your enthusiasm. You have to bring the energy to your meeting. Energy, your emotion, your energy is a transferable emotion. So if you're enthusiastic and passionate about your presentation and as you're presenting, then that is going to rub off on the guests that are in attendance, and it's going to make them feel good. And guess what? When they feel good in the environment, doesn't that bring them closer to saying yes? They're going to want more of that. But if you are very monotone in your presentation, you lack excitement. Mr. Burt, hold on. Can you take over for a moment, please?
Can't hear you, Mr. Bird.
Can you hear me now? Okay, cool. So yeah, so whenever you're doing a recruiting meeting, guys, basically you want to have three things, and we call these the three E's. Okay, the three E's. You want to have energy, you want to have excitement, and you want to have enthusiasm. Because that right there, even if you have like an average presentation, so just your energy, your excitement, and your enthusiasm will just propel people to want to be a part of this and want to join you as well. So that's one thing I had to learn, that even though anybody can get into Planet, that's easy. Anybody with $200 can get into Planet. It's a special person that has the Planet inside them. And when you build this business, it projects out. It projects out. And it needs to project out with your energy, your excitement, and your enthusiasm. And when that happens, oh my goodness, good things start to happen. Back to you, Mr. Burke.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, Skylar was Skylaring. UPS came and she don't want mommy to have her packages. So she was acting up. All right. Where were we? What number were we on, y'all? Do, 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 do.
We're on number 15.
We're on 15. Right. So we were talking about your enthusiasm. So number 16, convey the impression that network marketing is a truly legitimate business conducted during normal business hours. And it is, right? But you want to make sure that you convey that message. Ma'am, excuse me, convey that message. This is why we have a home-based business. This is real. This is live. Everything that could go wrong today has gone wrong, right? My internet kicked me out. The dog is barking. Anyway, but yes, this is a legitimate business. First of all, network marketing is a 1099 business. So can people stop calling network marketing pyramids? I don't know any pyramid or illegal operation that reports to the IRS and issues 1099. This is a 1099 business. But the other part of conveying the message that network marketing is a legitimate business is how you conduct yourself. It starts with you. Are you dressing the way you want to be addressed? Right? Are you showing up on time or are you showing up late? Right? Do you have the tools necessary to do the business? Right? I talk about this all the time. If your phone has got a cracked screen, you need to upgrade that because people are looking at that. You're pulling out your phone trying to get somebody's information to add them as a lead or to get their contact information and your phone is busted and disgusted. Like that should not be. Or you got a Hello Kitty phone cover. Like you even if you haven't made a dollar in your network marketing business yet, at least look like and present yourself as if you have access to money. And we talk about this all the time, right? People got to grow up and people got to look like they're ready to do business. Yep. If you kind of work for this, then you're kind of going to get the results. Exactly. You are handling your business. Nothing is impacting you from delivering the information. Yep. All right. This one is real. Expect about, I think it's less, but we'll see. Expect about 50% of the people you invite to meetings will not attend, even after promising to do so. Who wants to talk about this one? Director Burt?
My goodness, this is my specialty. This is my specialty. We call this that dwindle down process. And what I tell people whenever they're about to have a PBR, go ahead, invite 50 people. Invite 50 people. Just make sure that you invite all 50 people, because what's going to happen is you're going to have probably 25 to 30 of them tell you that they can't make it on. And you need to expect that, you know. And then you're also going to have about 20 of them say, yeah, they'll definitely be on there. So it's dwindling down, from 50 down to 20. And then on the day of the meeting, when it happens, you're going to maybe have like 6 or 7 people out of the 20 that promised you that are going to show up. So it's like 50 to 20 to 7, but those 7 people, they get to see something that can change your lives forever, and they get the questions answered. And that's what you got to like look for, because as long as you're able to control the controllables, like you always teach us, the director Bert, control the controllables. It's like everything's going to go good, because you can't control whether somebody's going to show up, whether they're going to sign up or not. The only thing you can control in a PBR is the amount of invites that you send out to people. And if you say you're going to send out 50, send out 50. Don't send out 42 or 37. Send out all 50 and watch how everything just goes into play. And then, of course, at the end, if somebody signs up, that's a bonus. That's a bonus on that.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. All right. Number 18. As the first step in training, we recommend that you set aside 2 hours each week on Saturday mornings to teach a small group of your newest distributors the basics of how to do our business. So they're saying set aside some time during the week to train your new people, because how are you going to get the duplication? All right. And everybody's onboarding process is going to look different. I do like the idea. Um, uh, of getting groups of people together. Like this past Saturday, I had a group of people at my house and we did training, right? I'm going to do another one next month. But I'm not going to get too bogged down with doing that. Why? Because the company already has trainings in place every Wednesday at 7 p.m. So I don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? There was a need for me to do this training with this group of people because their onboarding wasn't, let me say this, everything duplicates good and bad. So if you get someone who comes into the business the wrong way, guess what? They're going to duplicate that with their entire downline. And so now you have an entire downline who has no real direction on what they should be doing so that they can get duplication. And so I identified that need and I said, okay, let me get everybody together. Let's do an onboarding so that now we're all starting from the same place and now they can duplicate that. But it's very, you can't duplicate what you haven't experienced, right? You cannot duplicate what you haven't experienced. But again, I want to make sure that I don't get stuck in the management trap doing trainings over and over and over again when the company already has that in place, right? I rather leverage what the company has in place. So I'm going to do one more training for the month of March with that same group of people. And then from there, they should be off and running, right? Having that solid foundation and leveraging the training that's already in place. All right. Number 19, follow the first step training. Set up a one on one personal strategy session with any frontline associate who completes your assignments. Ooh, I'm going to read that again. And y'all know I want y'all to highlight and underline. It says, following the first step training, right? Set up a one on one personal strategy session with any frontline associate, here's the part, who completes your assignments. That's the key. Meaning you called the play, they ran it, they did everything they were supposed to do. So now you're going to give them your time and have a strategy session with them. But stop having strategy sessions with people who aren't doing the work. That's where you get stuck in the management trap, where you end up having conversations with people about the same thing they've been trained on over and over and over and over. Go ahead, Director Burt.
not even gonna comment on this except to say guilty, guilty, guilty as charged. I should be serving time for the amount of times I've been doing that, coaching people who've just not been running the play. So yeah, I understand.
Yes, right. So we're only setting up the strategy sessions with teammates who have actually shown that they're being coachable and they're completing the assignments. We got two more. Product details should not be a significant part of the training because networking is the business of sharing based on personal excitement, not technical knowledge of ingredients or services. So, what they're saying is, whatever you're selling, whether it's a product or a service, you shouldn't go into too much detail explaining that because that is not what network marketing is. Network marketing is about saying, it's about a friend telling a friend about their experience with it and how much they love and enjoy it. That's it. It's not about, oh, you should use this product because it has, the first ingredient says da, 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 da. No, nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. It's, oh my gosh, this product changed my life. This is one of the things you don't know that you need until you actually get it. But oh my gosh, I sleep so much better. My skin is clear. I don't have that foggy brain when I wake up in the morning. I have more energy. That's what network marketing is. It's about sharing your enthusiasm about the product or the service, right? Oh my gosh, I love my business. I was booking travel anyway, but now I get to book my own travel to my own business and I get the commission on it. And I've been able to invite some other friends, make some extra money on the side. I'm really enjoying this. I'm getting, the opportunity to learn. I'm meeting people. It's awesome, right? That's what it's about. It's it's not about the technical stuff. Director Burt?
You know, I have to ask, what about the greens?
Yeah, the greens are gonna mess that up. The greens are gonna mess that up. This is definitely, I'm glad you brought that up. This is definitely a pitfall for the greens because they tend to want to talk too much about stuff that doesn't matter. So if you are a green, you got to be very, very careful about that. Talk about your experience and why you got started or what you like about the product, but don't talk about the product itself. Let the video, the tools explain all of that. Amira?
So what I'm learning is that marketing training is different than product knowledge training. So the marketing training part is the excitement. That's the invitation. That is, the attraction marketing and things like that. That's the excitement part. That's the marketing part. But when the product knowledge in our case would be the IntelliTravel side, where we actually
Mhm.
go through the university and we learn about the suppliers and we learn about the X's and O's of how that part works. But I feel like in any industry, um, you can't do it if you don't believe in it. If you don't,
Mhm.
if you're not excited about it, you're not going to make money in it in any arena, whether you know every single ingredient or not, whether you know the ins and outs of it or not. Um, but the training in and of it with the product itself is going to come the more you become the product of your product.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Exactly. And who's going to join a network marketing company that they don't like the product? Nobody. Why that doesn't even make any sense, right? So you joined it because you like the product or you love the service, whatever the case may be. It could be a product, it could be a service. You joined it because you love the product or the service. And so that is what you're talking about when you're talking to people. What about it did you like? What has been your experience with it? What's in it doesn't even really matter at that point. If it's working for you, it's probably going to work for some other people as well. But it's your excitement and enthusiasm about the product or the service that is going to make people want to partner with you, not the ingredients, right? Not how it's made, not all of that stuff. As we always say, facts tell, but stories sell. So you want to focus on the story, your story for why you got started. Okay.
I get
Last
excited
but not
about cake and I don't know every single ingredient in cake, but that's
Exactly,
exciting to
right?
me. That's the pasta, Alfredo. So, like, don't play with. I'm excited about a lot of stuff, and I could care less what's in it as long as it tastes good. Like,
Exactly.
seriously.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, we're on the last one. We got a minute. Meetings, whether for recruiting or training purposes, should be kept short, simple, and easily duplicated. Exactly as we always say, good is only good if it's duplicatable. All right, that's my time. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Y'all got to hear Skylar. She was just saying hello. But thank you all for joining us. Type in the comments, let me know what your biggest takeaway is from today's session. And guess what? On Thursday, we will be back for chapter 8. I think there's 2 more chapters. I think there's only 9 chapters in the book. But we will be back for chapter 8. So, everyone, have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.